Hi everybody, and welcome to A Course in Miracles and More. Hi Dawn, and Sue, and Susan, and everybody else tuning in. Well, today is a wonderful day, and it's wonderful because I don't have to figure out how to live in this world. I know that sounds strange, right? But when you really get that God, the Creator, vibrated upon itself, and out of that self came you and me and all of us on the planet. And when we wake up to that, then we don't have to worry about what to do, what to say, all of that. We don't have to worry about a thing. So I woke up this morning with the title of this lesson in my mind. I will step back and let Him lead the way, because it is the divine Creator that created me out of itself, created you out of itself. And so when you really get that, why fear? Because that power that created you will come through you and do all things through you. It will use your eyes. This lesson is a continuation, by the way, of the lesson 154, which is I am among the messengers of God. And now we move into I will step back then and let Him lead the way. I mean, in the beginning in the Bible it says, in the beginning was the Word. We've talked about this before, right? In the beginning was the Word. And the Word was with God, and the Word is God. You are the living Word. The problem is we forget that, and then we make stuff up. We make up, oh my God, just look at the life that you've lived to this point, and everything you've made up, that's untruth. It's really scary. It's really depressing, but it got you here. That story that you made up, it served too, because it moved you and it got you here, right now, with me and you, to a place where you can now remember. So we are living in this new age of Aquarius that is descending upon our planet, upon the entire universe. We are in the great remembrance. We are in the great remembrance. Isn't that beautiful? So I will step back and let Him lead the way. It's so simple. Hi, Viv. It really is so simple. And Charles. So listen, before I go on, I want to tell you about the passing of one of our dear sisters that many of you know and have traveled with. There she is, beautiful Lin Dai, our gorgeous sister in the light. She passed away yesterday in Nepal, and it was just so, I was sad to hear the news. It was so shocking to me. We had just been together in Egypt, and we had been texting, and I was shocked. And here she is in Egypt, so beautiful. Her light is so glorious. And when I heard the news from her sister and was granted permission to let you all know on this platform that she's no longer with us in the physical, but she's certainly with us in spirit. And when I got the news from Yuli, I literally felt the molecules of Lin Dai's love fill. I was in my bedroom at the time, and when the call came in, and when I heard this, I immediately could feel the molecules of Lin Dai's love fill my bedroom, and I knew I could see her so enlightened in her glorified body of light, and all is well. She's fine, she's well, but we're going to miss her like crazy. We are going to miss her like crazy. And I think too that gave me the thought, it deepened my awareness of life is so precious. To be here and to wake up is what we're really here to do, and how blessed are we that we come together to remember who we are together while we're in the body. How blessed. And Lin Dai was certainly on that path. And she was in Nepal doing what she loves. She was in physical quite a servant of the Lord. Her blessing that she brought to the world was to serve all, to love all in the field of medicine. She was a wonderful nurse, very caring. She was always looking out for, I know Yvette, if you're listening, she was there holding Yvette's hand. Here's Lin Dai walking backwards in her flip-flops, helping Yvette walk and up a hill backwards, and she just smiling and just so happily helping a sister in need. And that was Lin Dai's way of being. I had the pleasure of meeting her family, her daughter. I didn't meet her son, but I felt like I did. I knew him through her daughter, and I did meet her wonderful husband. So she will be greatly missed, but we celebrate her life, we celebrate her love, we celebrate her light, and the light that she brought to the planet and the lives of many. She touched so many lives. In the hospital, I can't even imagine the peace and the joy. She always looked like that. Lin Dai always had a smiley face to me. She always looked happy. And they say that the face represents what you carry in your heart. And so I think, like what's written on all of our hearts, is you are here to reveal the Christ. You are here to reveal light. And when I look at Lin Dai, that's what I see, a piece of God right there. And so thank you, Lin Dai. Thank you. Yeah. I'll take a breath here. Okay. On that note, let's close our eyes. And we move into meditation. Our eyes are closed and we sit nice and tall. And focus on your breathing. Just a comfortable breath. You're going to breathe in love and you're going to breathe out love, because your purpose here is to love. And so we breathe in love and we breathe out love. Bringing our attention to the breath. Turn away from effects and move inward to the first cause. God said, "Let there be love, let there be light." And the divine wanted to express itself on earth. And so here you are with a divine purpose. And your purpose here is to reveal Christ. I will step back and let Him lead the way. My aim is to look upon the Son of God as sinless. Yes. To make every encounter with every brother and sister a holy relationship. And to know that God is operating on every level and dimension. I will step back and let Him lead the way. Focus on your breathing. Be fully present in this moment now. Whenever I am tempted to let illusions be my guide, I will step back and let Him lead the way. Ego is always wrong, and it will never make me happy. So, I will step back and let Him lead the way. Today I set aside my fear-based thoughts of specialness and sin, and I step back and I let Him lead the way. Today, I let go of all grievances, judgments, and beliefs, and I step back and I let Him lead the way. Focus on your breathing. It is the Spirit of Love breathing you. The God within you is your very beingness. And so I step back and let that beingness lead the way. Today I keep my vibration high with attitudes of forgiveness and compassion and kindness, because I step back and let Him lead the way. Be of good cheer, for I have overcome the world. I step back and let Him lead the way. Where is your focus? Breathe and know truth. You did not create yourself. I step back and let Him lead the way. Breathing in love and breathing out love. I am an instrument for the divine. I step back and let Him lead the way. I am cradled and carried in God's love, in God. I step back and let Him lead the way. My identity is what the Creator created. I am whole, perfect, and complete in God. I will step back and let Him lead the way. Breathing in love and breathing out love. The kingdom of heaven is within me. I will step back and let Him lead the way. The kingdom of heaven is at hand. I will step back and let Him lead the way. When I forgive, I will see things differently. I will step back and let Him lead the way. And so I let go of what I think I know and step back and let Him lead the way. I let the eternal beingness flood my awareness. With love, light, and all things good. I will step back and let Him lead the way. Where is your focus? Is it on the breath? If your mind is wandering, bring it back to to the breath. My purpose is to reveal and reflect the light and love of my Creator within. And so in this moment, I make my life a sacred offering to the presence of God within me. In gratitude, I will step back and let Him lead the way. And now we breathe in silence, in gratitude for all that is given. Meditating on the presence that knows what to do through you and knows how to do it through you. Where is your focus? Breathe. Focus. I live in the experience of God. Remembering who I am is the miracle. And through forgiveness, I can be about my Father's business. I am returning home to live what is written on my heart. I abide in the living word. I am what God created, and that presence is in me. It is around me. It exists on all levels and in all dimensions. I am held and cradled in God. You are fanning the flame of the Christ seed atom within your heart. Your very own I am presence, here to serve, to give, to love, and to reveal that God lives in me, in you, in all of us. I am a piece of God. I will step back and let Him lead the way. We breathe in the breath of yes. Yes. And we take another conscious breath, big breath of yes. I can do this. And one more big conscious breath deep into the lungs. It feels so good to be an instrument. The divine can play its melody through me. And I invite you now to go into your own heart and pray to the Lord God of your being, your way. And at the sound of the bell, we will return to our lesson. Hi everybody. Did you get that? I could so feel that. I will step back and let Him lead the way. Oh, to know that I didn't create myself I am created in the mind of God, and God's desire was to express, he needed like cars to run around on the planet, right? Vehicles, so that this divine presence could express through each one of these vehicles. And you know, really, that's the only purposeful meaning life has for us. I mean, we do our thing, right? People would say, what's my purpose? Your purpose is to love. Your purpose is to extend and to forgive and to do the things that the great ones, you know, Jesus forgave, and Jesus walked in the love and light of his Father, saying, I am about my Father's business. And then he reminded us to be of good cheer, because we've already won. We're already at home in God. And so we're here in the great awakening, or the great remembrance, to really get that, you know. And people will say, well, I don't know what to do next. And I say, well, you don't even have to worry about it. You just have to watch and see what's showing up. And what shows up in front of you is your next step. And what is that? To reveal Christ, to reveal the light. You are the anointed one. I am the anointed one. It's already done. Be of good cheer. It's already done. I'm in the process now, in this physical body temple, of removing the blocks to love's presence. And what are those blocks? Who don't you like? Who are you judging? Who are you condemning? What are you saying about so-and-so? Those are the blocks to the presence of what's true, right? And we can't feel that presence when we're focused on grievances and regrets of the past. And it's like, don't waste the present moment being regretful about what you did when you were 28 or whatever. You know, just to be here now. Edgar Tolle's book, Be Here Now, the power of now. That's where the gift is, right? In the present. Yeah. And so I will step back and let him lead the way. What if you really got that you actually absolutely did not create yourself, that God vibrated upon itself, the Creator vibrated upon itself. And out of that came you. That's beautiful. So that's what we're here to remember. And so when I step back and let him lead the way, what I must do is practice, maybe through meditation, not maybe, through meditation, a deeper awareness to those moments when I am tempted to follow the ego's lead. And you know what? The ego's always wrong. And it will never make you happy. Never. And we chase what the ego tells us that we think we want and need. And we wind up so miserable, so empty. But when I step back and let him lead the way, life takes on a new meaning. And I begin to see colors that I've never seen before. And I begin to hear sounds that I've never heard before, because I have removed the barriers to love's presence, and all that is there is the eternal that loves me into eternity. How I can feel Lin Dai smiling at that. Oh my goodness. Lin Dai. She's like, yes, yes. I can feel her so strongly. She gets it. She totally gets it. You know, without the heaviness of the body and the over-identification with the body, we get it. Because we're not distracted by the things in this world. And yet we are here to learn to be in the world and not of the world, as our beautiful brother Gautama Buddha said. We are here to let go, to detach, and as Baba said, Play the game of life. Play the game. And know that there's no losers. You've already won the game. Why? Because you're at home in the mind of God, cradled in God. Cradled in God. It's done. It is done. Oh my gosh. That is just so exciting. All right, let's get into the lesson and see what Jesus has to tell us about this process of letting go, stepping back, and letting Him lead the way. Now, I had mentioned in my write-up about the 3 levels of God's teachers. There are 3 different levels to God's teachers. And so I thought, well, let me go to the manual in the book, in the Course in Miracles, and talk about what are the levels of teaching. Okay? I thought this would be good because it takes us down to, if we're in a department store, we're on the ground floor. So we're going to go to a couple floors with this lesson, but it's really good, and I'll tie it all in with I will step back and let Him lead the way. Okay, so what are the levels of teaching? Because we are teaching all the time. And remember, what you're teaching, you are reinforcing in yourself. So if you have the wrong teacher, i.e., the ego, you are reinforcing the ego's thought system, which is based on separation and fear. You are reinforcing that within yourself. But if you're following the right teacher, then you will live a different life. So, what are the levels of teaching? The teachers of God have no set teaching level. Each teaching learning situation involves a different relationship at the beginning, although the ultimate goal is always the same. There's one goal, to make of the relationship a holy relationship. And that means I see no one as a sinner. I make no one guilty. I'm not in the business of attacking or defending. I am here to see you as a piece of God and to recognize that if you're acting crazy, that's a call for love. That's why we need meditation, to strengthen our listening skills so that we can hear the still small voice within talk to us, to tell us what to do whenever we are tempted. So we're going to make a relationship, a holy relationship, in which both can look upon the Son of God as sinless. There is no one from whom a teacher of God cannot learn. Every single person in your life is your teacher. You are learning about yourself by how you react or respond to that person. Everyone, from the person in the elevator, the waiter that's serving you in a restaurant, every person. So you want to know what your next step is? Just look at what shows up next. That's your work. Yeah. All right. So there is no one whom He cannot teach. However, from a practical point of view, He cannot meet everyone, nor can everyone find Him. Therefore, the plan includes very specific contacts to be made for each teacher of God. There are no accidents in salvation. Your brother is your salvation. Remember that line in the Course. What you say about him, what you think about him, how you treat him, is how you treat yourself. And if you see him as an evil sinner full of guilt, you are reinforcing that in yourself, and you are not saving yourself. You are putting yourself in hell. Those who are to meet will meet. There are no accidents. Whoever is in front of you is meant to be there because you are learning something. Because together they have the potential for a holy relationship. keep remembering what holy relationship means. It means to see each other as sinless. That's it. They are ready for each other. The simplest level of teaching appears to be quite superficial. It consists of what seems to be very casual encounters. A chance meeting of two apparent strangers in an elevator. And you know, I love doing this, and I watch people's reaction. When I get into an elevator, oftentimes I'll say, "Hi, how are you?" And people look at me like I have 5 horns on my head. They don't know what to do with that. And I think to myself, go in peace, God bless you. They're so scared, right? If you weren't, you'd say, "I'm great, how are you?" There would be this connection, but you can see what's going on in the world, but you don't join in that, you stay here no matter what. Okay, it can also be a child who is not looking where he is going, running into an adult by chance, to students happening to walk home together. These are not chance encounters. There are no chance encounters. Everything is an outpicturing of your consciousness. Everything. Each of them has the potential for becoming a teaching-learning situation. All of it. All of it. And forgiveness is the key that opens the door to the kingdom of heaven. Perhaps the seeming strangers in the elevator will smile to one another, or perhaps the adult will not scold the child for bumping into him. Perhaps the students will become friends. Even at the level of the most casual encounter, it is possible for two people to lose sight of separate interests. Because I'm you. And if I see myself as sinless, I'm going to see you as sinless. And if I don't see you as sinless and I'm making you wrong and I am attacking you, that's how I see myself. Because I am projecting my consciousness onto you. And you are seemingly reflecting it back. But there's no you, there's just me with projections. If only for a moment, that moment will be enough. Salvation has to come. When I see you as sinless, salvation has come. It is difficult to understand that levels of teaching, the universal course, is a concept as meaningless in reality as is time. The illusion of one permits the illusion of the other. So if I live in the illusory world, and I am all wrapped up in this illusory world, that's my come from. That is totally what I'm going to be immersed in. Seeing everybody the same as me in the illusion, but I won't know it's me, I'll think it's you. In time, the teacher of God seems to begin to change his mind about the world with one single decision, and then learns more and more about the new direction as he teaches it. You see, the ego is always, it's working nonstop to keep you mindless, because it never wants you to know that you can choose again. It never wants you to know that you can decide for love. It's going to try to make you feel like, I didn't have a choice. How many times have you said that in your life? No choice. We have covered the illusion of time already, but the illusion of levels of teaching seem to be something different. Perhaps the best way to demonstrate that these levels cannot exist is simply to say that any level of teaching, learning, situation is part of God's plan for atonement. And his plan can have no levels. There is no hierarchy in heaven. There's no levels. It's oneness. In this world, there's levels. And that is because, let me read that sentence again because I interjected something. Perhaps the best way to demonstrate that these levels cannot exist is simply to say that any level of the teaching, learning situation is part of God's plan for atonement, and His plan can have no levels, being a reflection of His will. Salvation is always ready and always there. You're already saved. That's the joke. You're already in heaven. But you don't remember that. And so you make stuff up. But what if you remembered that this world is in a hallucination and you're already in heaven, and that the eternal in you will do life through you? What if you remembered that all the time? God's teachers work at different levels, but the result is always the same. It's always the same, to see you sinless. If someone comes to me with an issue, I see you sinless. Why? Because I see myself sinless to the best of my ability. I see you sinless. I'm not going to judge you. I don't care what you do. Not that I don't care. That's maybe not the right way to say it. But it doesn't matter to me what you do or what you did. What matters is that you remember who you are. Because if I can help you to remember who you are by seeing you as sinless, I reinforce that I am what God made in me. I reinforce that. Okay. Each teaching learning situation is maximal in the sense that each person involved will learn the most that he can from the other person at that time. What are you learning from that person? What are you learning from your mother? Let's go there. Let's start with mom and dad. What did mother teach you? And remember, I had said a week or two ago that you are here to evolve what your parents did not surrender to God. You are here to evolve that. But we don't know that in our younger years, so we make our parents wrong and bad and we attack them. But they're actually our first teachers. Mother is your first teacher. She is showing you what you came to evolve. Not get stuck in a story, but you come to evolve that. So what are you learning from your mom? What are you learning from dad? And then what are you learning from your wife, from your husband, from your partner? What are you learning? What are you learning? Remember, your job is to reveal Christ and to see that person as sinless. But they are teaching you something about yourself. If you attack them, you have just learned something really unconscious about yourself that you're not aware of. And they are revealing it to you. They are showing you. The reflection you see in the world is simply an outpicturing of a grievance. If you attack them, it's your grievance. It's your own judgment. It's your unresolved stuff being reflected. So what are you learning? And if you don't know what I'm learning, just think about what you say about certain people. Those things you're saying it's your own stuff. You're just projecting what's not conscious in you. Because if you were conscious, you would be one with God and you would never attack anyone. So it does have a purpose. And it's to help you remember. So we make nothing wrong. Make nothing wrong. Don't get, if you discover that, oh my God, I have a person in my life that I've been attacking for the last 10 years, making wrong and bad, don't beat yourself up. Be grateful for that information and say, what? What? Oh my goodness, I've been attacking this person. No wonder I feel miserable. You know why you feel miserable? Who are you attacking? What are you making wrong? That's what makes you miserable. Yeah. So this is really powerful. Okay. In this sense, and in this sense only, we can speak of levels of teaching using the term in this way, the second level of teaching is more sustained. It is a more sustained relationship, like a mom, a dad, a son, a daughter, an uncle, auntie, like all that stuff. Okay, in which for a time two people enter into a fairly intense teaching, learning situation and then appear to separate. So you're born into your family, mom and dad, siblings. Remember, your siblings, your biological family reveals you. Your biological family reveals you. What you say about your biological family is a dead giveaway about what you're holding in your unconscious, your own attack thoughts, your own unforgiveness, because your biological family, the purpose of it is to reveal you. So that's big. Okay. As with the first level, these meetings are not accidental. You chose on some level your biological family so they could reveal you. What did dad reveal? What did mom reveal? What did my brother reveal? What did my sister reveal? What are they revealing? You will see all your unforgiveness revealed through your siblings, through your biological family. These meetings are not accidental, nor what appears to be the end of the relationship a real end. Again, each has learned the most he can learn at the time, yet all who meet will someday meet again. For it is the destiny of all relationships to become holy. So if you're holding out on love in this realm, you will meet again. And the purpose is every relationship must become holy, meaning until you see that person as sinless, your work is not done. God is not mistaken in his Son. The third level of teaching occurs in relationships which, once they are formed, are lifelong. These are teaching learning situations in which each person is given a chosen learning partner who presents him with unlimited opportunities for learning. These relationships are generally few because their existence implies that those involved have reached a stage simultaneously in which the teaching-learning balance is actually perfect. It's like you're in that relationship because you know that I am here to reveal Christ. And so everything that comes at me, it has no meaning. I just let it go. It's gone. I get it. This does not mean that they necessarily recognize this. In fact, they generally do not. It's a process. They may even be quite hostile to each other for some time and perhaps for life. Oh my God, have you ever seen partners in a marriage? They're there forever and they seem to fight constantly and they don't like each other and they're all the time, okay? So they are quite hostile to each other for some time and perhaps for life. Yet, should they decide to learn it, the perfect lesson before them can be learned. When you decide for God, remember last week's lesson? The desire for God. I'm dedicated to the purpose of revealing Christ. Okay? Now I'm in the world and not of the world. I see you as sinless. Wow. Think of the people in your life that you're in an intense relationship with. I see you as sinless. You can learn it once you decide. And if they decide to learn that lesson, they become saviors of the teachers who falter and may even seem to fail. No teacher of God can fail to find the help he needs. So there you go, teachers of God. We're all teachers of God. Those are the different levels, but that last one, that's like, wow, you're working it. You're working it. And this person that I'm in this relationship with, that, I'm working it. And it can be intense. But the minute you decide to learn it, you reveal. You've got helpers. Remember, you are cradled in God. You are cradled and held in God. The divine creator created you out of itself. It's in you. Your vehicle is your body. temple. It's a moving car for this spirit to move through you. Use your eyes, your words, your heart. And all you have to have is a little willingness to say, you know what? I'm going to step back and let you lead the way, because I am tempted to attack this person. I am tempted to make this person wrong. I am so tempted right now, but I'm going to step back and let him lead the way. That's an advanced teacher of God. Woo! That's huge. Okay, so let's get into the lesson. Okay. So Jesus tells us in this first statement, there is a way of living in the world that is not here, although it seems to be. There's a way of living in this world that's really not here, but it seems to be. So Jesus said, the kingdom of heaven is within you, and the kingdom of heaven is at hand, meaning it's now. And so I'm going to tap into that kingdom, and I'm still going to be in the world. I'm going to, go to work, and I'm going to be a husband, and I'm going to be a wife, and I'm going to be a mom, and I'm going to be a sister. I'm going to do my role at work. I'm going to do everything that I'm being called to do, but I am in the kingdom within me. And that kingdom is now. It's at hand, right now. That's where the treasure is. So, what if you recognize that this world is an hallucination? This is from the text, chapter 20. What if you really understood you made it up? You made it up. What if you really got that? What if you realize that those who seem to walk about in it, to sin and die, attack and murder and destroy themselves, are wholly unreal? What if you really got that? You'd be happy. You'd be happy. It's like, I hear people say, I just want to renounce the world. Well, why would you do that? The only way you would want to renounce the world is if you thought it was real. Right? It's like, I'm renouncing the world because it sucks, because I made it real. Well, how about that? The new age of Aquarius is about pouring the waters of the God beingness within you. You don't renounce anything. Your way of life is like a walking meditation. You are in the kingdom. You are one with your Creator. And it's stress-free living, because you don't have to worry about what to say, where to go, la la la. You are like the instrument. And you're just being told, and you're listening to the still small voice within, and you're being guided, and you're protected, and you get it, and you just see that this whole world is a mass hallucination. It's a collective projection of insanity, and you really get it. And then so you'd be in the world, and you'd be doing your thing, and you'd be available. You wouldn't be a liar. You wouldn't be a cheat. You wouldn't be stealing. You wouldn't be making stuff up. You'd be so authentically living fully, because the presence of God is steering your life. Sai Baba says, I am the puppeteer, you are the puppet. And you would be so happy to know that God's pulling the strings and that it's all good. You would be in the flow. Woo. Okay. So then Jesus says, could you walk in faith in what you see if you accepted this? Oh yeah, you bet. If you knew that this whole world was a hallucination, you would just walk in faith. And you would, be showing up, living your life in like 180 degrees away from how you live it now. Now we live it like, I don't know. I'm so scared. I don't know. They said, I don't know. It's always like, I don't know. I can't do it. I'm old. I don't know. It's because you made the world real. And you don't know that the eternal created you out of itself for eternity. And that eternal everything, God, omniscient, omnipotent, omnipresent, Christ, I am, that I am, is in you. You don't know that. And so we try to find it in a book. We try to find it in a group. We try to find it over here. But God is experience. To experience God is to live fully in the presence of the eternal within you. You can still dance. In fact, you would dance more. You would sing more, you would play music, you would dance more, you would laugh more, you would celebrate life more, because God is joy and laughter. That's what we would do more of. But in the seriousness caused by believing you're something other than what God made is so stressful. And so we do these things, that give us this temporary, fleeting happiness. It's not like a full embodied joy that comes from the kingdom. It's fleeting happiness that comes from seeking. And then we get it, and then we're like, yeah, back on, okay, next. Right? So this is what Jesus is telling us, that if we knew it was a hallucination, we would just walk in faith, and we would know that I don't have to worry about a thing. I will be told. I will be guided, but, are you still enough? Are you quiet enough to hear that still small voice within you? Okay. He says, you do not change appearance. Though you smile more frequently, oh yeah. Your forehead is serene, and everyone gets Botox. Okay, so I got a lot of fear, and I'm all scrunched up in my forehead. So you know what? I'm gonna go get some Botox, and that'll fix it. And then when you just completely relax and trust in the divine and let the light flow through you, there's a serenity on your face that speaks volumes. No Botox can do that. There's just serenity that comes from the kingdom within. Your forehead is serene and your eyes are quiet. Quiet. They're not like, well, do you ever talk to someone there? Oh, their eyes are like going all over the place, and you're like, where are you? No, they make eye contact, and they're looking at you. They are not distracted. They are fully present in the moment. They are the embodiment of everything God is, fully present. And the ones who walk the world as you do recognize their own. Do you ever meet someone and you're like, I feel like I know you, right? It's like soul to soul. I feel like I know you. It's not behavior modification, guys, where you put on white clothes or wear mala beads or walk around, barefoot in India. It's not behavioral. It's inner. Your mind is at peace. I remember Saint Germain. Someone said, well, if Saint Germain was so, spiritual, why did he wear diamond-studded shoes? Why not? Why not? It has no meaning. There's no meaning. The question should be, why do you care if Saint Germain wears diamond-studded shoes? What has that got to do with you? That's the question. It's always about, well, why am I saying that? Why am I there? Not why are they wearing that? That's none of your business. They're being themselves, and you're busy attacking them, and they should look a certain way because they're spiritual. This has got to go. That's religiosity that belongs to the age of Pisces, and we're moving into the age of the experience of God. I can experience God in a dress. I can experience God in my nightgown. I can experience God at the market buying fish. I can experience God in the grocery store counting apples to weigh. It's an experience. It's not different. It's just that we have been programmed to think that to be spiritual has to look a certain way. So we like monks in robes and we like priests, and not that you get what I'm saying? But a person that is experiencing the God within and shining love and light and non-judgment and seeing you sinless and showing up with kindness and grace and honoring and all of that, they're experiencing God. They are in the kingdom, but they're in the world. They just don't, their behavior, their clothes are different than a monk's, or different than the priest in the church, but they're experiencing God. And they're just showing up and revealing love. There are more spiritually elevated people that are, you feel the presence of God when you're near them, and they have no money. They may be working on an assembly line, putting hubcaps on tires in a car assembly line, and they have more God presence than that person behind the pulpit. So we have to start thinking and seeing things correctly with the single eye of God. Does your life reveal that you are experiencing God? Yet those who have not perceived the way will recognize you also, and believe that you are like them as you were before. Well, that's interesting. It's like projection makes perception now, doesn't it? Projection makes perception. What I'm projecting out, I'm going to see. So people might look at you, they are projecting something out, looking at you. But if you're not projecting and you're with God in the kingdom right here, right now, then you are in a vibratory frequency that is much higher than attack, defense, anger, grievance. You're much higher. Not better, we're all the same, but you have developed an awareness that what they're doing is a call for love. That's why Jesus said, it's a dead giveaway. Jesus told us on the cross, right? Forgive them. They are projecting their crap on me. Projection makes perception. And Jesus didn't join with them. He said, forgive them. They don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they're saying. They're hallucinating. But I get it. Father, into thy hands I commend my spirit. Okay. The world is an illusion. Those who choose to come to it are seeking for a place where they can be illusions and avoid their own reality. Okay, so I can be everything in this world is an illusion. The happy things and the not happy things. It's all an illusion. But remember, if I am one with God and I am operating from the kingdom, then I'm still in this illusory world, but I'm in the happy dream. It's still a dream, okay? But if I come to the world with the wrong teacher, I'm in the illusion, it's still a hallucination, but I've made it real. And now I'm going to suffer like crazy. I'm going to keep you as a sinner. I'm going to see guilt. And what does guilt do? We know that. The Course tells us guilt seeks punishment. Right? And then it's attack and defense, and round we go. So Jesus says, we come to the world seeking for a place where we can be illusions to avoid my own reality. There is a fear of oneness. There is a fear of God because you made God in your own image over here in this illusory world with the ego as your teacher. So there is that fear. Oops, just lost my page. Okay. All right. Yet, when they find their own reality is even here, they can step back and let it lead the way. The kingdom is within. The eternal that created me out of itself for eternity dwells within me and has written upon my heart that I am what it made. I belong to God, no one else. I don't belong to my husband. I don't belong to my kids. I don't belong to any. I belong to the light, and I'm here to play a role, to reveal in that role that God lives in me. So I can be in the world and not of the world. I just have to step back, let my body be used as a communication device for the Holy Spirit to do her work through, and all shall be well. What other choice is really yours to make? What other choice is there? That is the only choice. Everything else is an illusion, is crazy, it adds on to nothing. It leads to pain. So the only choice is, I desire God more than anything else. That's what I'm choosing. I desire God in my life, in my heart, as much as I desire air in my lungs. Until we get to that point, well, you know how it goes. You choose something else, which leads to more insanity. To let illusions walk ahead of truth is total madness. Total madness. But to let illusions sink behind the truth and to let the truth stand forth as what it is merely sanity. The truth is, I am a spiritual being having a physical experience. I have a body, which is a car. Okay, think of a car, think of our electric cars. Okay, here's a good one. You have an electric car, and to make it run, what do? You plug it in. So my body is a car, and to make it run in the way that it should run, I have to plug it in to the divine that's already within me. And so when I sit and I be still and I meditate and I calm down, I am plugging in to that divine circuit that's around me, in me, through me. I plug in, and now I show up every day saying yes to life. Yes, why not yes? Yes, use my life. Yes, use me. How sweet is that? Because everything on earth, as above, so below, is an analogy of a higher teaching. So I have to plug in, I have to get right with God, plug into the circuit of omniscience, omnipotence, and omnipresence, in the same way that my car has to be plugged into an electrical outlet in order for it to run properly. Same, as above, so below. Okay. So I took this from chapter 31, and it says, be very still an instant. Come without all thought of what you ever learned before. Let go of what you think you know. You know nothing. The ego, because you think you know with the ego mind, you know nothing. The ego is a no thing. The ego is not real. It doesn't exist. It becomes real to you because you believe it. So, be very still an instant and come without all thought of what you ever learned before, and put aside all images you made. I love that. Images you made. Didn't say create. Made. You made it up. Everything in this world, you made it up by how you think. The old will fall away before the new without your opposition or intent. So when you let go of what you think you know, something is going to be birthed. Every moment is an opportunity for a rebirth. And if I come empty, Buddha says emptiness. Be of an empty mind, a beginner's mind in every moment. It is an opportunity to be born again. Forgive your brother all appearances. Well, who's ever in your space, I forgive them all appearances. that are but ancient lessons you have taught yourself about the sinfulness in you. So the brothers and sisters that you see on this journey of ascension have been placed in front of you to reveal you. As I see them, I see myself. If I love you, it's because I am projecting, extending the love that I am. But if I make you wrong, then I am projecting an ancient, it's been in there for lifetimes. Repressed, an ancient grievance that I am holding on to. And I feel so guilty, not consciously, but I feel so guilty about this grievance. I got to get rid of it, so I'm going to project it onto you. And you're going to reflect it so that I can forgive it, meaning pluck it out. What did Jesus say? You look at the speck in your brother's eye, but you have a plank in your own. Right? That's right, Dawn. We know that, right? Yeah. So we're going to take that out of our own eye and let thy eye be single, the first eye of God, so I can see you in the light of truth. You are a piece of God. Every human being is a piece of God. Okay. So, that is the way you go together, not alone. Remember we talked last week about 2 by 2? We go to heaven 2 by 2? Because that person is you. That's the seeming other person. That other person that you've been attacking is you. If you don't forgive it and pluck it out of your own eye, then you don't go to heaven, neither do they. Because they're both you. Next to you is one who holds the light before you. You want to know what your practice is? You want to know what you should do next? What's showing up? What's coming into your space next is your work. You don't have to go to a class. Listen, guys, it's a new age of Aquarius. It's about groups, fellowship. It's about the collective. What's in front of you? That's your work. That's your work. Okay. The one who holds the light before you, so that every step is made in certainty and sureness of the road. A blindfold can indeed obscure your sight, but cannot make the way itself grow dark. And he who travels with you has the light. And that who travels with you is not Jesus hanging out with a lantern. It's your Christ. It's your own consciousness. Your consciousness is the portal into the quantum realm. Your consciousness. Where are you in consciousness? It's your consciousness is how you save yourself. No one's going to save you. No priest, no anybody. No going to hear a group, not even what I'm saying, nothing's going to save you. Your consciousness is going to save you. What's in your consciousness left unhealed? What's there? You are here to heal what needs healing and to reveal Christ, the light. Nothing outside of you. Okay, so who travels with you? Is in your heart. It's in your heart. The Christ is in you. The light is in you. That's what's going to save you. It's okay. We listen to Dharma talks to keep our mind focused on good news. We listen to different teachers. That's okay. But never give your power to a teacher. Your consciousness is going to save you. Never give your power away. Don't go sit at the foot of a guru and think that if you sit there long enough, you are going to ascend. You are not going to ascend. You are going to be sitting there into eternity, listening to a guru, hoping that you can transcend. What's going to save you is your own consciousness, plucking out, pulling out the darkness. Looking at your grievances, watching what shows up, how you feel about it. Am I walking in forgiveness? Am I letting it go? Am I coming with an empty mind? Am I saying, use my life? Do I have an agenda that I want it my way? Or am I saying, use me, show me, guide me? Your purpose in life is simply to reveal. That's my purpose, to reveal the Christ within. But then when we're doing our life, we might have another purpose that is like, I want to be an electrician. Well, I want to be a doctor. Well, I'd like to be, and you feel it, what you would like. That's something different. But you are still to reveal the Christ in your vocation, no matter what it is. People say, well, I can't do that. I work in an office, and all the people that I work with are so, I don't know, they're just so low vibration. Who's talking? Oh my gosh, right? The Holy Spirit says in the Course in Miracles, every relationship you find yourself in is a laboratory by which the Holy Spirit does her work. So your office that you go to is your place of worship. So you can invite the Holy Spirit in and consecrate your entire being to the Holy Spirit and say, I want this healed. I want to see what's in me that I haven't been able to see, or I've denied, but I'm ready. I want to see it. That's an advanced teacher of God, by the way. You want to see it. You want it all in your face, because anything that's not in your space is taken up space in your consciousness, and the gravity of that keeps you so heavy and tired and depressed and angry. Can you feel that? Oh, I can feel that as I say that. It's like rocks in your root chakra. So, okay. This is the simple choice that we make today. The mad illusion will remain a while in evidence for those to look upon who choose to come and have not yet recognized or rejoiced to find they were mistaken in their choice. I have to read that again. This writing is so small. I need to blow it up. Hold on. Okay. This is the simple choice we make today. The mad illusion will remain a while in evidence for those to look upon who choose to come and have not yet rejoiced to find that they were mistaken in their choice. Once you wake up and get it, you'll laugh at all the crazy choices you made to be rude, to be gnarly, to be depressed, to be sad, to be all these things. You will wake up and realize that, wow. And even if you're depressed, we do go through these emotional highs and lows. If you feel low, if you feel depressed, if you feel like moody, whatever, is to be able to say, okay, I can feel this energy moving through me, but I know that I am cradled in God, and it's okay, and this too shall pass. See, it's having the courage to face everything, to face everything. It takes intestinal fortitude. It takes bravery to say, I'm not going to play with darkness. I'm not going to mull around, roll around in moodiness and anger and whatever else. I'm not going to do that. I will step back and let him lead the way. And you'll have this voice that'll say, well, that's not really you. You're acting like someone you're not. You know you're a biatch. Right? You'll have that voice. I know I've had that voice. And I'm like, no, you don't. Get thee behind me. I'm going to be nice. I'm going to be kind. I am going to keep my vibration as high as I can until this voice shuts up. And it doesn't really shut up. The light dissolves it because it's not real. Light dissolves darkness. The light dissolves darkness. Okay. So good, isn't it? I love this lesson. All right. They cannot learn directly from the truth because they have denied that it is so. See, we have to wake up and know I am created by a creator that is in me, through me, around me, and in every cell of my being. The creator is my true identity. I am its creation. Spirit lives. Okay, so when we deny that this is so, they need a teacher who perceives their madness. That would be the ego. But who can still look beyond illusion to the simple truth in them. This ego is a trickster. Okay? And this is from chapter 20, or no, it's from the manual. If you would be heard by those who suffer, you must speak their language. If you would be a savior, you must understand what needs to be escaped. That's a good statement from Jesus. Okay, let's go on. If truth demanded that they give up the world, it would appear to them as if they asked the sacrifice of something that is real. If truth demanded that they give up the world. By the way, truth does not demand. Love is kind. It does not command. Demand. So, if truth demanded that they give up the world, it would appear to them as if it asked the sacrifice of something that is real. And truth is truth, and nothing else is true. Many have chosen to renounce the world while still believing in its reality. And that's why people want to renounce the world, because they've made it real. And now they go live and be a monk or go into a monastery or a nunnery or whatever they do, but they still believe that the world sucks. I've talked to people like that. They're living holy in a reclusive area of the world. They have renounced the material world. Well, how's that working? You made it real, you still think it's real, and you think you're saving yourself by hiding out in the mountains in some shelter, in some cloistered community with people who hate the world, and they've renounced it. A true teacher of God shows up with courage and bravery and faces everything that comes their way. They know that their job, their duty, their responsibility as being part of the divine is to bring the kingdom of heaven to earth. Jesus taught us that. We are here to bring the kingdom of heaven to earth. Not make it wrong and bad. It's going through a transition right now because there is a war in the minds of people. And the war in the mind of you and me and everybody else is being projected out, and we get to see this mad hallucination called wars, famine, confusion around gender, all this stuff, the woke move, all this is a projection of a mind at war with itself. When you wake up and you know who you are as the image and likeness of God, you walk on water. You are in the world and not of the world. Colors are more brilliant. Music is more wonderful. You know, I love classical music. And the other night, I was on YouTube and I love to listen to symphonies. And so I was listening to a symphony, and it was being held in, I think, Germany or Austria or something. It was in a hall. And what captivated me was watch their tears. And the music was playing and the camera, you know, just spanned across the room, and oh my gosh, I saw people with their eyes closed and tears were just running down as they were listening to the, right, Susan? They were listening to these beautiful, you know, Mozart and Chopin. It was being played on the piano, and then there was the symphony coming in with the violins and the cellos, and it was so magical. I had tears coming down my eyes listening to this music, and I said, this is God. God is music. The music of the spheres. In fact, the great Mozart and Bach and Chopin, they were the masters of music. The musicians for God. And they would evoke such emotion and such, wow, connection. People cried, and they're still crying. And these, these men, women, even like young teenagers, and they were just showing, everyone had these tears of this beautiful music. And that's real. That's beautiful. That's being in the illusion, but it's a happy dream. It's the reminder that God lives. God lives in me. And then, I watched this other one. I saw this caption, and it was 60 minutes. It was a segment on 60 minutes. And it was about this fellow, I think he's 28 years old. And I love these stories. They're just so magical. This little guy was born blind and autistic. And at a young age, he started playing the piano, but he would get angry at it because he couldn't play it right. But his parents could hear that there were songs coming through. And so they hired a piano teacher to come and work with this child who was completely blind, autistic, all of it. And the piano teacher, God love him, worked with this little boy, and just after a few lessons showed him where to put his fingers and stuff. And this kid, they call him a walking, living iPod with iTunes. He can play any tens upon tens of thousands of songs. You ask him to play any song and it's musically correct. It's as though Beethoven's sitting at the piano. It's as though Lady Gaga's sitting at the piano. It's as though Adele is at the piano. He can play anything. How does that happen? That's God. So miracles are natural. We would say that's impossible. He's blind and he's autistic, and good luck with that. And no. So anything that you got going on in your life, any stress or illness or whatever, give it over. Focus on something else and turn it over and walk in faith. I was just so taken by this fellow, and they had him play at some place in Europe, and it was for a university, and all the university students, he said, ask me anything to play, and they would come up with songs, and then they would say, can you change that? Can you play it in D minor? Didn't matter the key, didn't matter the anything, didn't matter if it was a composer from back in the day, he could play absolutely anything. How does that happen? That's God. God is in me. The all-seeing eye of God, it's not our physical eyes, it's this eye. It was beautiful. So, all right, so we don't want to renounce the world, because if you do that, you're saying, I'm out of here because this world sucks. And that's not doing anything. That's just making a dream world real, where you bind yourself to it. Okay. And they have suffered from a sense of loss and have not been released accordingly. Others have chosen nothing but the world, and they have suffered from a sense of loss still deeper, which they did not understand. And the more you complain, and the more you I can't, and the more you this, and the more you that, the more, remember, by the spoken word, everything you say becomes true for you. Every single thing becomes true for you. By the power of the spoken word, you are getting the results you find yourself in. So if you're depressed, sad, whatever, you're doing it to yourself. I know. This is, go back to the 5 Ds. Do you have the desire for God? Do you have are you dedicated to the mission of ascension? And once you say yes to that, you have to keep saying yes in every moment. And every time you're tempted to complain, to pull it back. Every time you're tempted about something, pull it back. And ask, be brave. Be brave enough to say, I'm tempted, this is tempting me. And face it and ask the Spirit that is the doer. Say, listen, Help me with this. Help me. Take the reins of my life. Okay. Between these paths, there is another road that leads away from loss of every kind. For sacrifice and deprivation, both are quickly left behind. This is the way appointed for you now. You walk this path as others walk, nor do you seem to be distinct from them, although you are indeed. Thus, can you serve them while you serve yourself and set their footsteps on the way that God has opened up to you and them through you? And so from the text, chapter 29, God has not many sons but one. You're it, and everybody that you see, you be, everything you hear, you say, everything you experience, all of it, it's all coming from you. So God has not many sons, He has one son. It is for Him the Holy Spirit speaks and tells you idols have no purpose here. Everything that distracts you is an idol. If heaven is within, why would you seek for idols that would make of heaven less? The more distracted you are, heaven goes down, and this excitement for these distractions grow. And this gets less and less and less, and this gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And the thing is, if I focus and desire God, and I grow this, I can have it all. And what is the all? Joy. And out of that joy, I will be told, I will be guided. It'll be effortless. We have it so backwards. All right. If heaven is within, why would you seek for idols that would make of heaven less, to give you more than God bestowed upon your brother and on you as one with him? God gave you all there is. It's all here right now. And to be sure you could not lose it, did He also give the same to everything, every living thing as well? Sai Baba used to tell us, all wisdom and all knowledge has been placed within you. It's all there. Everyone's a genius. Once we remove everything, it comes through. Everything comes through that you need in this incarnation to fulfill your dharma. And thus is every living thing a part of you as of himself. Illusion still appears to cling to you that you may reach them, yet it has stepped back. And it is not illusion that they hear you speak of, nor illusion that you bring their eyes to look on and their minds to grasp. So you're coming from a different place. When you're an advanced teacher of God, you're coming from a different place. Nor can the truth which walks ahead of you speak to them through illusions, for the road leads past illusions now, while on the way you call to them that they may follow you. For sacrifice and deprivation are paths that lead nowhere. You sacrifice nothing when you choose God, when you choose love. There's nothing to sacrifice. And choices for defeat and aims that will remain impossible. All this steps back as truth comes forth in you. I am the way, the life. I am the all. The I am in me, in you is everything. And when that walks ahead of me, everything else steps back. And so truth comes forth in you to lead your brothers from the way of death. Death is choosing your ego as a teacher. That's death. And them on the way to happiness. Their suffering is but an illusion, yet they need a guide to lead them out of it, for they mistake illusions for truth. And again, when you have pain, it seems so real. It is real, you feel it. But if you're with a teacher that knows that that pain in whatever form is an illusion, that can help lead you out of it. That's why Jesus said to Lazarus, get up. Jesus did not believe in death. Jesus did not believe in sickness. And where Jesus stood as light, everything had to come up to that level of light. Lazarus, get up. And he got up. He got up. So where are you standing? Such is salvation's call and nothing more. It asks that you accept the truth. I accept that I am what God made. I accept that I am a thought, an idea in the mind of God, and ideas never leave their source. And I know that the divine wanted to experience itself in this physical realm, so it needed a vehicle called Deanna's body, Dawn's body, Susan's body. It needed a vehicle so it could express itself through. And I'm saying yes to that. Are you? I'm saying yes to that. Such is salvation's call and nothing more. It asks that you accept the truth and let it go before you. Okay? Lighting up the path of ransom from illusion. It is not a ransom with a price. There is no cost. There's only gain. You have everything to gain and nothing to lose by saying yes. Joy has no cost. Joy has no cost. It is your sacred right. And what you pay for is not happiness. What you pay for is not happiness. Joy is your sacred right. It has no cost. That is beautiful. That's from chapter 30. Illusion cannot seem to hold in chains the Holy Son of God. It is but from illusions he is saved. Oh my God, you are safe from all these distractions. You are safe from the idols. You are safe from all of the, as you step back, you find yourself again. I do not know the thing I am, and therefore do not know what I am doing. I don't know the thing I am, therefore I don't know what I'm doing. Who I am, or how to look upon the world or on myself. Walk safely now, yet carefully, because this path is new to you, and you may find that you are tempted still to walk ahead of truth, to put the ego first. You put truth first. Walk into a room, walk into a meeting with someone that you're nervous to have a meeting about. You walk in there as truth and say, I am here. Come through me. Don't put ego in front of truth. That's the first mistake. And let illusions, and you may find that you are tempted still to walk ahead of truth and let illusions be your guide. And that you'll go with, people say to me, oh my God, I have a meeting. I'm so nervous. I've got to, present this and I don't know what to say and la, la, la. If that's any of you out there, put truth ahead of illusion. You walk into that room as truth. Give your power to no one. No doctor, no medical, no pharma, no boss. Don't give your power away. Walk in there as truth. The Holy Spirit is with you, open and receptive. Walk in and know that you will channel greatness. You will create connection. You will create something. It'll be different if you don't put illusion in front of truth. Your holy brothers have been given you to follow in your footsteps as you walk with certainty of purpose to the truth. It goes before you now, that they may see something with which they can identify, something they understand to lead the way. This is so beautiful. Yet, at the journey's ending, there will be no gap, no distance between truth and you. I and my Father are one. And all illusions walking in the way you traveled will be gone from you as well, with nothing left to keep the truth apart from God's completion, holy as himself. God's meaning is incomplete without you. God's meaning is incomplete without you, and you are incomplete without your creations. Jesus says, step back in faith and let truth lead the way. You know not where to go, but one who knows goes with you. Let him lead you with the rest. When dreams are over, time has closed the door, and all things that pass and miracles are purposeless, the Holy Son of God will make no journeys. There will be no wish to be illusion rather than the truth. And we step forward this as we progress along the way that truth points out to us. That is our final journey, which we make for everyone. Oh my gosh. When you do it, you're doing it for the whole world. Just like Jesus did. Just like Buddha did. When you get this and you show up as love and you put no illusions in front of truth and you say, I am what God made, come through. You're doing this for the whole world. We must not lose our way. For as truth goes before us, so it goes before our brothers who will follow us. We walk to God. Pause and reflect on this. This is the ascension journey. You're walking to God. Could any way be holier or more deserving of your effort, of your love, and your full intent? I don't think so. We walk to God. Your feet are safely set upon the road that leads the world to God. Look not to ways that seem to lead you elsewhere. Dreams are not a worthy guide for you who are God's son. Forget not, he has placed his hand in yours and given you your brothers in his trust, that you are worthy of his trust in you. That brother that's in front of you or sister, you have a responsibility to them, and that is to show up and reveal Christ. To show up and say, it is the Christ that doeth all things through me. That's what we're here to do with every brother and sister. He cannot be deceived. His trust has made your pathway certain and your goal secure. You will not fail your brothers nor yourself. And now he asks, but that you think of him a while each day. I remember back in chapter 23, lesson 153, we were asked that we spend 10 minutes a day with God. Just 10 minutes. And Jesus said, well, you can go a little bit longer, even a half hour would be great. But you're building that muscle. You're building that awareness that I can be still. I can shut up and listen to the still small voice. So that meditation really helps me to, right? And so each lesson we are being asked again, Jesus says here, he just asks that you think of him a little while each day, that he may speak to you, that still small voice, and tell you of his love. I love you. Jesus is always saying, the Christ within, the Creator, I love you. I am you. The light is around you. The light is in you. You are that light. Oh, so sweet. Reminding you how great his trust, how limitless his love in your name and in his own, which are the same. I am that I am. Same name. We practice gladly with this thought today. I will step back and let him lead the way, for I would walk along the road to him. That is such a beautiful lesson. So, alrighty guys, that brings us to the end of lesson 155. And I will be here next Friday night for Soul Astrology, Ascending Soul Astrology, followed by the New Moon Breathworks, which will be, I think, the 6th or the 7th. I think the 6th is the New Moon. So we'll be doing that. But as of for now, step back and let him lead the way. Just try it, one day at a time. Yeah, you're welcome, Viv. We try it one minute at a time. Welcome, welcome. Yeah. It's a beautiful lesson. Thank you, Jesus. Yeah, thanks, Yvette. That's so beautiful. Yeah, we love God. And you know, I'm just really excited because in this time, we need people. We need you. I need me to show up and be what God says I am. In this Aquarian age, if you look at that glyph, or at, you know, it's the symbol of the Aquarian age, it's the water bearer. And that's a symbol of the divine man pouring the waters of creation. God coming through, pouring that into your life. Woo! So something new's afoot. And we're it. Okay, guys. See you next Friday night. Love you lots. Have a super day and a restful night. Bye for now.